All right, today we're going to discuss a particular drill that I'm seeing taught all over our area from the Little League level all the way to the high school and Legion level. It's not a bad drill. I think the thing that we want to be careful about is who we're teaching the drill to. Okay, and the drill that I'm talking about is one where we start in our prayer position and we break our hands and we go to this high cocked position. Okay, this is a position that depending on your athlete, depending on the problems that they're having, can be used and has been used to correct that low elbow throwing action. You've all heard, or if you're a coach, you've all said. If you're a player, you've probably heard, get your elbow up. At some point, you've heard, get your elbow up, elbow up, elbow up. And it is a concern. We don't want to see elbows dropping down here. Okay, now. The problem lies when we get to your better athlete, or not necessarily better athlete, but your kid who just for whatever reason throws the ball the right way already. Okay, and you can tell a difference pretty quick. When you get a kid who has that low elbow problem, by all means, make it simple, break the throwing motion apart, and have him get to this spot and throw the ball. Okay, we can really reinforce elbow up, keep it up, and throw. And hopefully we can develop this consistent arm slot that gets up here. And what I'd like to see some of our coaches stay away from or just be careful with is when we get that athlete that just picks up the ball from the time they're age 7 or 8 and just knows how to throw. Okay? A lot of the time our better athletes are going to be able to pick up the ball, and you've all seen the kid who picks it up and for whatever reason wants to drop the elbow and push it, and the kid who naturally will pick the ball up, straight up over the top real naturally, okay? For the kid who's able to get here and get over the top naturally, when we start breaking down the mechanics of throwing and making him do this high cocked position throwing drill, we rob him of all of his athleticism, okay? He naturally throws the ball the right way with a loose whippy arm action, okay? And now we've told him, okay, because Tommy has to do this drill because he has that problem, you're going to do that drill also, even though you don't have the problem. So now instead of throwing the ball real naturally like he used to and like he's comfortable, we've broken it down into a mechanical move and we break his rhythm and he loses all kinds of velocity and accuracy with that. Throwing a baseball is a kinetic chain of events that happens, starts with all the way from down at your toes, generates power all the way up through the body, transitions into the core, and then we transfer that energy into the hand, okay? There's a ton going on. It doesn't look like it, but there's a lot happening, all right? And for the kids who naturally can put that sequence together, if we start breaking it apart and making it mechanical, we're taking the athleticism from them, okay? Now just a little bit of understanding on how the body works to throw the ball, okay? When our hands break and we get to this inverted T position, okay, this is a great place to throw from. From right here, all we have to do is drive our legs, rotate our hips, and the arms roll in throwing the baseball is really just this, okay? This is all it does, okay? I'm gonna get my feet apart, my body in an inverted T position, my hips will rotate. When my hips rotate, my shoulders rotate, and then we get that external rotation with the shoulder to throw the ball. Okay, that's the arm's only real role in throwing the baseball. Okay, once we get to this point, we take this arm action out and we make it a two-part sequence and we break rhythm. Okay, and that's something that you really want to watch. Okay, all this boils down to is know your athlete. And the difficult part, and my challenge to the Little League coaches, is trying to coach all these kids. You get 12 of them, and they're from this ability level to this ability level, and trying to coach them all in the middle with one drill could be counterproductive. So what we want to try to do is get as much time as we can with each individual athlete and work on the problems that they have. And that is a real challenge. You just don't have the time of the day to do that. So it's tricky, but I do think it's important that we understand how the body throws and what we do, so we're not just teaching a drill for drill's sake. If you pause the video below is Barry Zito's throwing mechanics. He's kind of fallen off a little bit over the last few years, but still, as high-level throwers you're going to find, I mean, he's a big league guy. If you pause that video at about 22 seconds, you're going to see that elbow pulling the ball up action that creates this external rotation, which is healthy and natural and normal, okay? And what you'll never see is the elbow up and pointed out to second base. That's one of the cues that's used with a lot of coaches for this drill is get the elbow up and point the ball to second base. You can throw that way. I believe that you lose velocity, you lose accuracy, and you lose rhythm by doing that. And it's an unnatural movement to do. Okay? High-level throwers do not throw from this position. They throw through the high-cocked position. And when they get to that high-cocked position, it's really just a function of that rotation of the shoulder or the shoulder joint. Okay? And when they get there, not only is it not happening before they start their throwing motion, it's also not pointed straight out to center field or towards second base. High-level throwers will actually point that for a right-hander, the ball's going to come up and it'll be pointed at third base, or for a left-hander, the opposite direction will be pointed at first base, okay? So it's a little bit misleading. I think this all came from, you know, in the 80s we looked at snapshots of pictures and we saw them like this, so we thought that this is, you know, this is where we throw from. It's not where we throw from, that is where we throw through, okay? We throw through that position. Bang, bang, okay? Not bang and go, all right? I'll throw a couple here just so you can kind of see what I'm talking about, the difference in the two arm actions. Okay, I'll do two of each. First one with that broken. Okay, my elbow's up, but I'm losing arm action and I'm not working efficiently. Okay, now. Just by looking at those two examples, visually, you can see the difference between right and wrong, okay? But that is where the risk we run. We can take that arm action out if we coach it out with the wrong drill, okay? So I thank you for tuning in and checking us out. If you have any questions or if there's any topics that you'd like to see, again, email me at jason@bhbattersbox.com. I'd be happy to address them. Thanks.